To begin today's practice test, open the Student Shared Drive. Then click on the file that says Testing. Finally, open the FSA Secure Testing Platform. Once this is open, click Go to the Practice Test site. Today you are going to learn how to use the test delivery system, the test platform you'll use to take the computer-based Florida Standards Assessment. This practice test is designed for students who will take the FSA English Language Arts Writing Test. You will be given a planning sheet on the day of the test to organize your response. However, today you may use your own paper. Remove all materials from your desk except your pen or pencil and scratch paper. Your computer or device should be opened to the Student Practice Test login screen. Please follow my instructions and do not change screens until I tell you to do so. Now, look at the login screen. If you do not see this screen, raise your hand. Make sure the box for Guest User is switched to On. Make sure that the box for Guest Session is switched to Off, and enter the session ID that is displayed on the board. The first box will already be entered for you. The session ID is also displayed for you. Once you have entered the session ID, click Sign In. Raise your hand if you need assistance. Now you will see a screen that says Your Tests. From the Student Grade Level drop-down menu, select either 9 or 10, depending on your grade level. Now you will see the test you are going to take today, the Grade 9 or 10 ELA Writing Practice Test. Click the arrow beside Start Grade 9 or 10 ELA Writing Practice Test to proceed. Now sit quietly while I approve your tests. Now, you should see a screen that says Help Guide and Test Settings. Do not click Begin Test Now until I instruct you to do so. To review the Help Guide, click View Help Guide. Take a moment to review the Help Guide. These instructions show you how to navigate in the test and how to use the tools and features of the testing platform. We will discuss these tools in more detail on the next screen. These instructions are also available for you to reference in the practice test. When you are done, click Back to return to the Help Guide and Test Settings screen. Just below the Help Guide section, you will see a section for Test Settings. Take a moment to review your test settings by clicking View Test Settings. You should see a screen that says Review Test Settings. This screen allows you to choose the print size, background color, and mouse pointer for your test. If you would like to change your selections, do so now. You should see your changes made on the screen once you select them. You can click Undo Changes to return to the previous selected settings. If you have any questions, raise your hand. Click OK to save your changes and return to the Help Guide and Test Settings screen. Once again, if you have any questions, raise your hand. Now, click Begin Test Now, but do not begin yet. Now listen as I describe the screen. For the FSA ELA Writing Test, you will see a reading passage or passages on the left side of your screen and the writing prompt and response area on the right side of your screen. There may be two scroll bars on your screen, one to the right of the reading passage area and the other to the right of the writing prompt and response area. Now, slowly scroll down in the reading passage section by moving your cursor into the reading passage section and either clicking the down arrow at the bottom of the scroll bar or by clicking and dragging the scroll bar. If necessary, do this again in the writing prompt and response area. If you are using a mobile device, scroll by swiping up and down over the reading passage. If necessary, do this again in the writing prompt and response area. When reading a passage, always make sure that you scroll down to read the entire passage. In the top left corner of your screen, find the navigation buttons. The back and next buttons permit you to move between pages on a test. The back button is deactivated, and you will not need to use the next button because there is only one item on the FSA ELA writing test, the one essay you will be writing. To the right of the next button, you will see the Save button. The Save button allows you to manually save your work. This is an optional feature. If you do not click this button, your response will still be saved automatically every 2 minutes. Next to the Save button is the Pause button. The Pause button allows you to pause and exit the test. Do not click the Pause button at this time. To the right of the Pause button, you will see the End Test button. Do not click the End Test button at this time. We will discuss the Pause and End Test buttons at the end of this practice test. Are there any questions? Now I will describe several tools that may help you with this computer-based practice test, and you will practice using them. At the top right corner of your screen, find the Notes button. Click Notes now. A notepad will display in a pop-up window. If you want to make notes for later reference, you can type them into this window. You can click and drag this pop-up window around the page if needed. Now practice typing some in the notepad. These notes are not included as a part of your writing response, but they are monitored by the testing contractor. Notes that you save in the notepad will be saved for the duration of this test. To close the notepad without saving the notes you have typed, click Cancel. To save the notes you have typed and close the notepad, click Save and Close. Now close the notepad. Click Notes again, and your saved notes will display. To the right of the Notes button, find the Line Reader button. The Line Reader tool helps you track line by line as you are reading the passage or prompt. Now click Line Reader. When you have clicked the tool, the button will turn orange. The Line Reader appears on the title of the first passage. Click another line on the screen, and the Line Reader will move to that line. You can also move the Line Reader by using the up and down arrow keys on your keyboard. Practice using the Line Reader tool on the screen. Now click Line Reader again to turn off the tool. The button will revert to its original color. Next to the Line Reader, find the Zoom Out and Zoom In buttons. You can use these buttons to increase and decrease the size of text within the test page. 4 levels of magnification are available. Now practice using the Zoom Out and Zoom In buttons to find the zoom level with which you are most comfortable. At the top right side of the page, above the Zoom buttons, find a small question mark in a circle. This is the Help button. Now click the Help button. A pop-up window with the Help guide, including an overview of the test site, test rules, and accessing context menu tools, will display. Note that you can click and drag this pop-up window around the page if needed. To change the size of the window, you can drag the bottom center, right center, or the bottom right corner of the box. This is the same screen that you reviewed before beginning the test practice. These instructions remind you how to navigate within the test and how to use the tools and features in the testing platform. Take a moment to scroll through these instructions. Raise your hand if you have any questions about the information in the Help Guide. Now close the Help Guide by clicking the X in the gray circle at the top right corner of the window. Are there any questions about any of the tools? In the top right corner of the Reading Passage panel, find the Expand Passage/Item tool, which looks like a double-sided arrow. This tool will expand the Reading Passage panel or the Prompt and Response panel so that it takes up most of the screen. Now click the right-pointing arrow of the Expand Passage/Item tool to expand your Reading Passage panel. Clicking the left-facing arrow will collapse the Reading Passage panel. Now click the left-facing arrow of the Expand Passage/Item tool. The Reading Passage panel will shrink and the prompt and response panel will cover the screen. Click the right-facing arrow to see both the passage and prompt and response panels. Now look at the top right corner of the prompt and response panel. You will see 3 horizontal lines. This is the context menu. Click the lines to open the context menu. First, you will see a lowercase I, a flag icon, an arrow around a clock face, and a grayed out line that says Highlight Selection. Click the lowercase I. This is the tutorial tool. A pop-up window opens that displays a video tutorial of this item type. There is no sound available for this tutorial. You can also access the tutorial by right-clicking, if available on your device, in the prompt and response panel and clicking Tutorial. Now close the window by clicking the X in the circle at the top right corner of the pop-up window. Now select the context menu and then click the flag icon for Mark for Review. For other FSA tests, such as the FSA ELA reading test, you can mark an item for review by selecting this option. You will not need this tool for the FSA ELA writing test because there is only one test item. The Select Response Version tool allows you to view and return to previous versions of your writing response. For example, if you delete a portion of your essay and then continue writing, but later decide that you would like to access the deleted portion of your work again, the Select Response Version tool will allow you to do this. In the response area, type a short sentence, and then click Save. Now erase that sentence, type a new sentence, and click Save again. From the context menu, click the Select Response Version tool. From the window that displays, click on the version numbers to see a preview of the response versions available to restore. Click the version number you would like to restore and click Select. Click Cancel to close the Select Response Version window without selecting a previous version. You can use the Highlight Selection tool to highlight portions of a passage or prompt. To highlight, click and drag to select the text you want to highlight. Then right-click in the selected area and click Highlight Selection. Your text will then be highlighted. To remove the highlighting from text or reset all highlighting, right-click in the passage or prompt area. Then click Remove Highlight or Reset Highlighting from the context menu. Note that if you have multiple sections highlighted, choosing Reset Highlighting will remove all highlighting from that passage or prompt. To remove only certain portions of highlighting, select the text you want to remove highlighting from, right-click, and choose Remove Highlighting. Practice highlighting and removing highlighting from words in the passage or prompt. Are there any questions about any of these tools? Now look at the formatting toolbar below the writing prompt and above the response area. The formatting toolbar contains a variety of options you can use to format your response. On a computer, if you are unsure what a button on the formatting toolbar does, you can hover your pointer over the button and a description will appear. The first box contains options to make your font bold, italicized, or underlined, or to remove any formatting from the text. To undo formatting, you can highlight the appropriate text and either click the formatting choice, such as bold, again, or click the fourth button in this section, which looks like a T with an X subscript beside it, to remove the formatting. The second box contains options to insert or remove a numbered list, to insert or remove a bulleted list, to decrease indent, or to increase indent. The third box offers options to cut text, copy text, paste text, undo the last action, and redo the previous action. The fourth box contains an option to insert special characters. Now, take a moment to practice using the various options in the formatting toolbar. Are there any questions about the formatting toolbar? Now, take a moment to begin the practice test. Read the passages and respond to the prompt while practicing using the tools available for this test. Ask your teacher how much work he or she wants you to do for this practice activity. Now we will practice how you will exit the test if you need to leave the room for an extended period of time during the actual test. The pause button allows you to pause and exit the test for an extended period of time. Now click pause. A pop-up window will appear and ask you to confirm that you want to pause the test and to ask your test administrator before pausing your test. You should then verify with your test administrator whether you should pause your test. For today, click No. On the day of the test, if you have your test administrator's permission, you will click Yes. Now we will practice how you will submit the test when you are finished. Click End Test. You will see a message that directs you to click Yes to submit your test. Go ahead and click Yes. A message will now appear that reads, "You have reached the end of the test. Click Submit Test to submit your test." Click Submit Test. A pop-up will appear asking if you are sure you want to submit the test. Click Yes. You will now see a message that says Practice Test Completed. Go ahead and click Log Out.